say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you ladder. Oh, yo, yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout. Oh, yo, yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. This one not day off in mind. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you ladder. Oh, yo, yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout. Oh, yo, yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. This man not dey off in mind. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Mayegun diary. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live, and I am welcoming you to the Sunday sermon. Share the broadcast.
Ani Mayegun ma wí, Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun diary, diary politico. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹ́kọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Thank you, thank you.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í. Mayegun ti dé.
Nigeria president now photo. Everybody go snap photo with her. Say our president they snap photo with the Bishop of Archbishop of Canterbury. Hey, snap photo with the Rogers. Hey, snap photo with this one. Now president now photo on a vote. Your president is now a picture. Photo. Not be juju be that. Not be when our fathers die for a dollar and we they care for them, keep them for house, they pour libation. You lose a prayer and say, Moko Buhari boy, you lose Buhari prayer. Oro Rusada, Bueno Rula, Chitombo, Arebofu.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Ìgbónìná kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í. Mayegun ti dé.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you. This is Mayegun live, and from wherever you are watching from, this is Sunday Sermon, a segment on Mayegun's Diary Political, where we have our No Holds Bar segments, a segment where we say it, we call it our own truth in the temple of truth, right? Our own truth here. That we said on our Sunday sermon segment, we believe that if it's going to hurt you, possibly it's because it's true. But if it is going to offend you, it is because you are partly part of those we are talking about. Or whatever you make of what you probably share or we share on Mayegun's Diary Political, whatever you make of it is yours. But it won't make any sense for you to know the truth and then continue to deceive yourselves. Also, there are members of the Temple of Truth who actually want to be politically correct. Okay. When you are talking about the issues in Nigeria, when you're talking about the actors, the players, their victims and all of that, there are people who believe that these things are bad, but they are not comfortable with you or with Mayegun, right? Using some certain, language on them. They say they prefer me trying to be kind of a diplomatic. You know what I mean? Now they're like, Mayegun, don't talk down on your viewers. I've had messages like that. You see, on Sunday sermon, you are bound to be offended. And that is why before we get fully into it, I usually kind of give a pre-warning. It is for people who love to be politically correct. People who like the fact that you shouldn't insult elders. And those who believe that culturally, traditionally, even if you have bad leaders, you are not expected to publicly chastise them. You are not expected to publicly criticize them. And if you have to criticize them, they want you to watch your language. I have the generation like that on Mayegun's Diary Political. Don't think I don't know. I don't know that that is something that some of you prefer to be politically correct. But the only issue here is this. I am Mayegun, okay? I am not one of those that follows that your fraudulent traditional and cultural rules set by criminals only just to say, in Yoruba land, there's something they say, you don't use elders. You know what I mean? You cannot, you cannot insult elders. You can't do that in public, as they say. Okay, so I don't follow their rules. Are you with me now? I don't, and that is why being politically correct is not my thing. And I gladly accept it when people say I am rude. If you know who you are, nobody can use it against you. So when I speak and say things and you get offended, it is because of your belief, which is not mine. And most of the time, I always let those who want to be politically correct, I always let them know beforehand, I am not your friend. When I see thieves, I'll call them thieves. When I see criminals, I'll call them criminals. It is you that is being politically correct that want me to come and bring the proof of their conviction. We have passed beyond that. Okay? I just thought I should tell you. Sunday sermon is kind of different. I can go, you see me now talking gently. I'm talking gently right now. At some point, the thing will just change. Depends on which frequency I'm flowing on at the time. Because wherever you have to say your truth, known by everybody, you should say that without using any kind of coloration. In fact, for those who want to be politically correct, those who are looking for elders to respect, and the rest of that, those who believe that in Yoruba land, you don't use leadership, you don't use age difference. Like if you are a senior, let's say you don't use seniority for any other thing other than to cheat your junior. Kì í fi àgbàlagbà. Kò sí nǹkan tá à ń fi àgbàlagbà ṣe ju ká fi àgbàlagbà rẹ ọmọdé jẹ lọ. Yorùbá ló máa ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. And loosely translated as there is no use for seniority if you are not using it to oppress somebody below your level. Àgbàlagbà, because you are older. So I'm a Yoruba man. And because I didn't read the part that said, if you insult elders, it simply means you don't want to grow old. So I didn't just read that. I also read where Yoruba culture and tradition says, if a thief is dressed in gold cloth, yeah, silver, driving golden car, living in a golden house, as long as he is a thief, believe that everything is, is showing off, they are not his. He stole them. And that's exactly what the political leaders in Yoruba land, that's exactly what they represent. And they might behold that to you. These are a bunch of rogues, opportunists who took advantage of us. And now they are telling it to our faces. We don't really matter if you don't, by any chance, join their shippies. So I am a Yoruba man who knows that if you actually love your land, you will never, ever, ever support rogue criminals parading themselves as leaders. If not, the consequences of that is what we are witnessing in Yoruba land today. However, Bukwari that they have all been waiting for. Let me also make some certain things clear here. Whatever we do or say on Mayegun's Diary Political, the effect is only on the people who agrees with us and who actually see reasons with us. But you see, when it comes to this, their power that we are talking about, right? As much as many of us are waiting for what we call the karma, because we believe it that ordinarily the people are divided. People have already chosen their own thieves differently. There are Lagos Abobaku here. There are Oshogbo Alimajiri here. Humble slaves, obedient fools, articulated morons, articulators, and so on and so forth. People have chosen their own thieves differently, and they will defend them. And you think they actually have intelligence, but they don't. So I know that on Mayegun's Diary Political. But despite all of that, yeah, none of you, or should I say, none of us, have a say in who becomes what and when in their midst. And that is why when you monitor them, give them the close monitoring and you do your best, okay? You give them close monitoring and watch them self-destruct. It is them, they are the ones who can destroy themselves. Our own effort is that when they finish destroying themselves, those ones that will run back to us and begin to claim they are Igbos, then begin to claim they are Yorubas. See what they are doing to Yoruba people. All Yoruba should come together and fight this thing. That is where we come in to ensure that, because that's what is always happening all the time, right? Whenever they go out there and they involve themselves in all these shady, backward, poverty, corrupted deals, which is one Nigeria, when they lose out, they run back home. That is when they remember they are Yorubas. That is when they remember they are Igbos. But when they are there, right, on that table, feeding fat from you, sharing whatever they can share, right? They are always one Nigeria. So our own effort is to make sure that when they finish destroying themselves, because you and I have no resources. We don't have the resources. We don't have the political will. We don't have whatever it takes as we speak to physically remove them and deal with them. The people that should come together and do that, they are already divided beyond what you can imagine into pieces. And that is where they inherit. That is where they actually get their own strength from. Political, whatever nonsense they are doing, that's where they get that from. So our own effort is to make sure that by the time you know the truth better, when they destroy themselves and they come back home, you will not be one of those that will give them the lifeline again and begin to say, we see what they did to MK Abiola, see what they did to Tifnumbu, see what they did to this and that. As a Yoruba man, even though I don't like Nigeria, but as a Yoruba man, I am supposed to be this and that. That is exactly what they always rely on. They just need a fraction of us. And that's our own job to make sure that when they finally fall from that grace to grass, there will be no grass to fall on, because you are the grass they are trampled up. We are the grass they are trampling upon all the time. They don't give a damn. But every 4 years, yeah, suddenly they care. Suddenly they are Yorubas. Suddenly they are Igbos. Suddenly they are Christians. Suddenly they are Muslims. But for over 3 years, that these Nigerians have been subjected to different harrowing experiences in the hands of terrorists, both armed terrorists and both unarmed terrorists in government, put their lives in complete miserable. They didn't remember they were Christians, they were Muslims, they are they are Yorubas, they are Igbos and all of that. So that is where I come in. If I tell you that if Numbu is going to fail, because I want him to fail, and I'm not alone. But do I have the power to influence and get him kind of, make him quick? Of course we don't. He made a deal with the devil. Many of us who saw through that and knew what the end would be. Many of you, Lagos Abobaku humbled slaves. You said, Egbenu song. Okay, we didn't gbenu song. The day of reckoning is near. Now you are scampering for, you are grasping for breath. You are looking for who to blame. And then you are looking for somebody to say, God, we shame you. No. God has nothing to do with this. Absolute nothing. He made a deal with the devil. It is the cash out time, payback time, which is the breakfast time. But look at it this way. Suddenly, the northern governors, let's put it this way. Bokwari came back yesterday, and when he came back, he met with the presidential candidate of APC, Egbekegbe, and it was about consensus or no consensus. You remember that Kolu lost the few knots in his head, and he started yarning Okpata or dusts, how he made Buhari, how Buhari cried on TV, Oshekeni, Olule, Oshekeji, Olule, Osheketa, Olule. Ó dẹ̀ sunkún lórí television. A dẹ̀ sọ pé kó má worry, I help ẹ. Tó bá jẹ́ tèmi ni, kò ní jẹ́ president. All those nonsense he said. It was because of the news they have tied around this political neck. You remember I told you, I said, the APC, Egbekegbe, has so many options. And we have already presented all these options on this platform many times. But somehow, after Kolu's statement, maybe they now felt like, you know what? Let's make it look real. Because even consensus or no consensus, you are going to begin to see those who are going to be stepping down for this or that. But there is something I want to pick out. There is, as bad as APC, Egbekegbe, as bad as they are, as horrible as they have been, do you know that somehow, whether now Greek gift, call it anything for now, they are the ones who is now honoring that north-south dichotomy, as they say, political dichotomy, which means power rotation. And now, wait, many of you have already predicted this. APC, Egbekegbe, have now zoned their own presidency or presidential candidacy and ticket to southern Nigeria. They didn't say southwest too, because according to Kolu, when he decided to make Bokwari president, Kolu said he told him he will do something for Yoruba nation. Whatever Bokwari promised Tifnumbu For 7 years, what they gave us in Yoruba land is death and poverty and indebtedness. That's what they gave to us. Death by terrorism, kidnapping, death by economic strangulation, economic jihad, and the debt that Nigeria has been, dragged into by this APC. As terrible as they publicly came out yesterday to say, let the power go to the south. But look at the PDP, people destroying people, Atiku, and so many other southern rogues in PDP. What did they do? They set the whole thing. Once Boko Haram finish, it's going to be Atifu's turn. And it is better to do that through PDP, right? It was zoning. APC, Egbekegbe have no zoning in their own constitution, party constitution. There is zoning in PDP party constitution. It was zoning or not zoning that destroyed them and turned them to opposition in 2015. Atiku Abubakar, your Dubai-based president, what did he do in 2014? Coming from the background of Goodluck Egbere Jolantan, inheriting the remainder of the tenure of Yaradua, and at the same time ran for office to be president, and he was going to go for the second term. Atiku Abubakar, a member of PDP, became impatient. Since Nigeria is Turn by Turn Nigeria Limited, he thought he saw an opportunity through the new political party called APC. Let's go and start another party, and I will become the president of that party. Tifnumbu and gang, they managed to shortchange Atiku. Zoning kicked Atiku out of PDP, and zoning destroyed the PDP. But guess what? After this northern president, the same PDP, through Atiku's dollars, they've managed to maneuver themselves, and they don't give a damn about that your nonsense one Nigeria. It is live. Bossede Adenika or Adenika. I don't know. Yeah, since I mentioned your name, I bet you know that it is live. But after this, it won't be. Okay, it will be a replay. All right. So thank you. Atiku left, thinking he could become president. APC came. They put APC together just to take power back to northern Nigeria. With the support of the Southerners like Tifnumbu and co, they were able to help them take the power back to the north. Atiku saw that an opportunity there is closed. He came back to their PDP. PDP couldn't revive themselves and follow their own zoning and say, well, now they've changed it. So your Atiku is placed there to be their president after paying the dollars. So they don't give a damn. Now, people are even saying, if you say that Nigeria, you're one Nigeria, then you should make an Igbo man or an Igbo woman your next president to show that your Nigeria is indeed one. Just the same way you did for us, the Yorubas, in 1999. I know Lagos Abobakus, all these Onijakujes, they will tell you, why are you like this? You should come to Yoruba land. I'm coming back to that, by the way. But PDP, that the Igbos have been voting for since 1999, they just call the bluff of the Igbos. Shut up. Atiku is going to win election for us. Igbos cannot be president now. You can only be vice president. Southern Nigeria cannot be president for now. Let the power stay in the north. But look at the APC, Egbekegbe. CAPC, Egbekegbe. At least they are bold enough to to say let it go to the south. Now to those people who is coming back to in the south, I'm also coming back to you. I know the fear and the old rumor out there is that Mayegun, don't believe them. What they will do is that they will all go back and vote for their own person from northern Nigeria. I know. Sure, you think say me self they follow them believe all this nonsense. I'm just trying to let those who believe that somehow, there is something that's going to be light after the tunnel of this whole shenanigan. I'm just letting them know that piece by piece, if they pay attention, they will realize that they have been played or they are being played and they are allowing themselves to do that. But again, Bukwari told them, he said, I have my candidates. Okay, I have my own consensus candidate. And I want you, APC governors, I want you to go and work for this candidate. Sanwo-Iku got back to Lagos, told Tifnumbu that you are not the candidate, sir. Their consensus candidate is not you. And they intentionally want to humiliate you. They want to humiliate you, embarrass you, disgrace you. What can we do now, Asiwaju? That was when they launched the campaign of no Asiwaju, no Jagaban, no APC. No Jagaban, no APC. Just try and play any funny thing and see how this whole thing. Meanwhile, to Buhari and co, it is not the loss of the North. Tear and do whatever, but you know what? In order to make it look a little bit legit, I'll tell you where that my candidate is coming from. It's from the South. He didn't tell them. His own vice president is from Southwest. He didn't say, oh, my candidate is from Southwest. He won't say that because he's smarter than them. Abi? And he said that yesterday, he said, my candidate is, he said, let the power go back to the South. And immediately, like saying command control, 11 or 10 APC governors, they suddenly said, yeah, let's just go back to the South. Of course. Now from that South, you have Amechi. From that South, you have Ogbonaya. And from that South, that's where you have Oshibajo. You have Tifnumbu. You have Fayemi, Amosun, Bankole. Well, Bankole didn't even show up, so they didn't even clear him at all. Now, these key figures from the southern Nigeria, the battle now is that, as people have said, northern Nigeria is sorted. Okay? Before I used to think that APC would not want to lose power. Then I realized that if I say APC don't want to lose power, I'm actually talking like somebody from Yoruba land or somebody from southern Nigeria, because in northern Nigeria, they don't have political party. This APC, this PDP secretariat now, that you see thousands of people there in northern Nigeria. Tomorrow morning, if their leader says they are no longer PDP, they are now APC, that building tomorrow morning, including everybody there, they will turn to APC right away. And you will think they didn't do a meeting of PDP there yesterday. So how long does it take them to cross over and suddenly turn everything to PDP for Atifku? Tambuwa gave the sign. Now, let me just throw the bone to them in the South, because listen to this, if not because, as we they tell you, say your breakfast is about to be ready, and if it is not because they felt like, you know what, let's just make their trauma, their agony, their frustration, let us extend it. I'm talking about you, the Lagos Abobakus. Because what Tifnumbu succeeded in doing is that they managed to stop, or they believe they managed to stop Bokwari from announcing his consensus. Meanwhile, they didn't even know that he had no plan of announcing any consensus. The way you will know his consensus is from tonight, when you will begin to hear people say they step down for this, they step down for that. At first, you'll be hearing rumor. They may tell you that this, and that have stepped down for Tifnumbu or that. This is coming from the frustrated camp of Kolu. But they can enjoy it while it lasts. Because as the first time when this APC Egbekegbe in Yoruba land, their elders, when they felt like, you know what, all these people declaring here, declaring there, is this not all an attempt to stop Tifnumbu or stop the Yoruba from becoming a presidential candidate of APC Egbekegbe? So they were suspecting and all of that. So they called a meeting. That's a breaking news. Somebody just sent in a breaking news that many worshippers killed as gunmen attack Ondo Church. We'll follow that up later. They said that Owo is bleeding. That is a breaking news that to tell you that your 2023 elections, as you can tell, yeah, well, I'll be back. Gunmen attack Ondo Church. God damn it, man. Okay, I'll come back to that anyway. That's just, I'm going to say, give me a sec, okay? Because I want to talk about the first attempt that those who claim to be their APC leaders, those who are pushing and all of that from Yoruba land, right? The first attempt to see if they could talk or speak to all of the their own Yoruba, sons, as they call them, running against Tifnumbu. Speak to them to see if they could step down for him. They didn't succeed. Now they have called another one. They are holding that in Abuja as you are watching this. Give me a sec. I don't know how that news actually sits. I'll be back. Thank you very much. It's true. There's been a terrorist attack in Ondo State. The name of the church is St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo, Ondo. And from the reports, over 10 people have been killed. 10 dead bodies have been confirmed already. And there could be more. And remember, today is Sunday. People are in their churches and all of that right now. Yoruba land, terrorist attack. But we'll come back to that later tonight when we have the details of what happened. But yeah, this just happened, and their media said many died during church service, terrorist attack. And they've also, from the report, they've taken the priest. They've kidnapped the priest. Like I said, all these informations are still pretty much sketchy, okay? This is sad. And this is part of the reasons why people like us will never respect all the politicians in Yoruba land. Okay? Watch them play down. They've dragged Yorubas on the floor. They've dragged Yorubas on the ground for so long just to pacify, or sometimes to massage the ego of Bokwari and his murderous team. But we'll come back to that, like I said. So they called a meeting when they realized that the whole thing is becoming a mess. This is no longer looking like, Tifnumbu was going to just have an easy ride anymore. So what did they do? They called a meeting to talk to these guys, but it didn't work. Now they are currently in Abuja saying, because what Tifnumbu said is this: I know they have ganged up against me. I know that there's always going to be a day like this. Of course, I know. But before you just sweep me out, well, you must give me a fighting chance. A fighting chance where, at least if I'm going to be defeated, let me be defeated, not be hedged out. Even though people are already telling him that, no, you will be served. You will be given your own poison, because that's what you give to everyone. But whatever that is, they managed to get everybody back on the field. Please, I know it's scary. Like I said, a lot of people have been confirmed they're killed as you are watching this video during the church service. People said they've confirmed 10 dead bodies already. And there's a news media that said, they've confirmed that 10 people killed, including women and children. But there was going to be a lot of news flying about, okay? I want us to please come tonight. We have some sort of a reliable figure of how many people killed in Yoruba land. Yeah. So Tifnumbu, Akeredolu, Fayemi, Amosun, Pastor Ruga, Bisi Akonde, Oshoba, and many, many like that, including Bewiri Benga Daniel, who wants to be senator in Ogun State next year. It is just the gathering of thieves, rogues, who have gotten away with so much that they have actually legalized their criminal ways. They are right now in Abuja trying to talk to themselves now that they said they have zoned the ticket to the south. Okay. So I don't know when the Biafran presidential candidate are going to meet, because presently you have Okorocha, you have Ogbonaya Onu, you have who else? You have Devulumayi, and how many of them you have? They too should be having their meeting on consensus, because you know what Buhari and the governor said? They told them, they said, you should go and talk to yourselves and bring me consensus. So they are in Abuja right now trying to talk to themselves, which indeed is going to come to nothing. You know, another deceit that some of you don't know is this. You see that bullion van that Tifnumbu spent in 2019, they have reloaded the bullion van with dollars now. Tifnumbu said, whatever money cannot do, more money will do it. And this is time to test that. Even though they have told him that it's not about money. But from tonight, APC, Egbekegbe's delegates, will begin to receive their bazaar. And as we speak, now only Amechi can outspend Tifnumbu. Even at that, it will still be like Wike and Atifku. Now Lagos money, they won't go spend. They've been spending it anyway. But you see that Pastor Ruga, according to the Tifnumbu men, they believe that anybody else can get it. If Tifnumbu is not going to get it, anybody else should get it. So that they can continually call that a Pastor Ruga betrayer, betrayer, betrayer. So tonight, they are wishing maybe Pastor Ruga will step down. Àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ tí ò mọ nǹkan kan, You know, Pastor Ruga has been shortlisted. You see the other one where we say you don't even know, say they na Fayemi. They have also shortlisted Fayemi. So go and get somebody a consensus from yourselves. Now let's see the political tacticity or whatever of a Tifnumbu. Okay. And get them to step down for him. You know, if they step down for him, you can then say his problem is half solved, and maybe universe won't help him now. Like I said, all of these things I'm telling you right now, did you hear my name there? I am not one of those that will sit in Abuja. I am not one of those who are the delegates that if Numbu told them that God will not make your case, God will not make your issue delicate, you delegate, it will pay you. But the bottom line is this, how many of them can how can they now show that southern solidarity and present just one candidate, a consensus among themselves? Shebi Tifnubu supposed get him. Emilokan is the one next, right? It should be an easy ride. There shouldn't be any contest. It should be Tifnubu. Then you can say Tifnubu versus Atifku. Then Peter Obi. Because as you are watching this video now, you see all those Sorosoke youths, all those NSAS youths. It can't be like, say, they don't find another way to actually fight back. Shebi, I told you the other time that once this major crooked team, once they finalize whatever they are finalizing, then they will come for you guys. But why they are still busy? More Peter Obi people, don't they go everywhere? Oh. I'm talking about, this is not even like just volunteering, no. In northern Nigeria, Peter Obi northern supporters, they are donating their RCC to use them for Labour Party secretariats. Labour Party here, Labour Party there, Peter Obi here, Peter Obi there, this and that. Is that not the momentum right now? Oh dear. You're happy I said that, Abi? Yeah, Mayegun, you see, it's Peter Obi. Oh, Peter Obi is the way forward. Right. You better stop deceiving yourselves. Better stop deceiving yourselves. You see that northern Nigeria. You know, many people have been told, they have been telling me that they will shock me. Oh, Peter Obi people said, Mayegun, we will shock you. We'll surprise you. We'll take our country back. We'll take our country back. I said, so the APC, Egbekegbe. That's what they told me too. They are telling me right now, see, Tifnumbu, Lagos Abobaku. You will see what will happen, Mayegun. Tifnumbu is your next president. I said, they told me the same thing before. For Bokuwari, they say, I go see. I don't see anything. Now they see him. So when every one of them every group is telling me, you will see. You will see what will happen. It will shock you. Instead of you to shock me, now una self una go dey shock you. It's just that the whole thing self no dey even dey shock anybody anymore. Now una dey pretend say it shock you. Tomorrow now, if they say the Tifnumbu, they don't give am fase. Some of you will be pretending that you are surprised, but some of you will be like, even some of you who are like this, what if? About stay in one place, see, nothing go do you. If they like, may they make them their presidential candidate. If they like, may they no make them. Do you think if they no make Tifnumbu their candidate tomorrow or next day, so that simply means that, we are done with Tifnumbu. We are not done with Tifnumbu. Me as a person, I am not done with Tifnumbu, even after they defeat them. So can't imagine if they say, they make them give them their ticket and all of that, right? So it could just be something you say, you know why? It is not because of what they want to be or what they have been. It is the effect of what they have done. The the repercussions of what they have done when they have had a chance of changing the lives of the people for the better. That's what I'm actually against. What let be my business with Tifnumbu, other than what he is involved in. Yeah, that's why I'm talking about him. That is why I want more young people never to fall into the lies that will make them see a criminal like that as a hero. So whether they defeat him tomorrow, he never finish. Now go still come back here and say, Tifnumbu is not the candidate again. Leave him alone. Leave who alone? If he become your candidate, if he no become your candidate, he will continue. You don't understand. So it's not about him or whatever he wants to become, because I don't have a say there. I don't have a change. I don't have anything to, I don't have any influence there. So you are not going to shock me, surprise you. God will, which be God. Your God is Buhari. If you are an APC, Egbekegbe member, if you are Tifnumbu's supporter, Buhari is your God. Is the Alpha and Omega, at least for now. So if you are not telling yourselves that, you are what? Your Tifnumbu, for Jagabanditi, Afobaje. Every time he says something, he's going to retract it. Every time he says something, he's going to retract it. He no get liver, he no get spine. And the Buhari is your God. Do you understand that now? So it's just that because we know that they will self-destruct. They will destroy themselves by themselves. It is going to be, when a system grows so big, so massive, so oppressive, and it became immune to external kind of a break-in, what will happen is that it's going to be like a bubble. It's going to burst. Do you understand that now? It's going to burst. So Nigerian system has gotten to that stage of a precipice, yeah? It's going to burst. It's going to destroy itself from inside. I don't get soldier, I don't get gun, I don't get bomb, I don't get anything, I don't get diplomatic anything. But I am more confident that when a system has grown its usefulness as that of Nigeria, it will blow itself up. And from the spillage of that, now to make sure say all of them no become a Red Cross. That's my job. My job is that you don't become Red Cross for them. Where they give them lifeline, they give them blood. They say they gather together, they complain, and you say, how could they do that to Yoruba man? We are not happy. As a Yoruba, I'm so sad. Don't be sad for them. That is my job. You are still defending them today. When they destroy themselves, I want to make sure that the number of people that will pity them reduces. So you can't shock me. Because after the Congress, then we'll put everything on the table and say, okay, oh yeah, what is the event now? Who are the deceivers, and who are their followers? What are they saying? Then we'll be puncturing them. So don't think your Tifnumbu becoming anything has anything to do with me. I am more interested in trying to save as many of you from what is happening in Ondo State today. Because you see what happened in Ondo State today. This killing going on in Ondo State right now, It could be any of us. It could be me. It could be you who just returned from America, decided to go and do Thanksgiving in church, and they could meet you there. And that's what I've been saying. Then the likes of Tifnumbu and gang, they don't care. Because if they care 7 years ago, this issue of a state police, they campaigned for it 7 years ago. Today, they are now saying that Yorubas cannot defend ourselves. Under them, Buhari disarmed Yoruba people. We are now vulnerable. We are now prayer warriors against Fulani terrorist bullets, criminals and all of them. But they care about power. So do you see why somebody like me would rather continue to enlighten you? That you see all those your decisions. I can't make decisions for you. Many of you are already getting your PVC to go and vote for any of those criminals and the rest. Many of you are already opening WhatsApp group to mobilize for them. Many of you are already using your money to promote them and mobilize for them. How do you want me to control that? Of course I can't. But I can always remind you that you see all those things you are doing, that you think they don't really matter in the larger scheme of things. all of them, they have consequences. Consequences. Buhari and those who pushed him, what you are feeling today is the consequences of that. I am here to remind you that you must remember, so that you don't turn around and start saying that village people, they do you. And you don't turn around and start saying, Mayegun want to cause war. Una, they bring war and death on yourselves based on your choices you are making. And I am here to remind you that there will be consequences, because there have always been consequences. So Tifnumbu is a consequence, or fake Pastor Ruga is going to be a consequence. Any of them you go for, there will be consequences, because it is still that Nigeria. And from your Stockholm syndrome, you can defend them. But you can be a victim of all this insecurity. If what you want to eat today is more important to you than what you have to become tomorrow, of course, I can't really control that. I can't. If Nigeria no kill you, now because say you don't join hands to kill Nigeria, kill Nigeria before Nigeria kill you. When I say that, it is not that you should go and carry bottle, carry gun, carry anything. These politicians encourages you to carry bottle, carry gun, kill people, attack people, fight this, fight that for them. I am not asking you to do that. But you can kill this hegemony, you can kill this contraption by withdrawing that your patriotism from it completely, and give that your patriotism to the real person that you are, a Yoruba man. That is what they denied. And whatever happened to them, I am not responsible for that. You are not responsible for that, except if you take it on and carry it on your head like you are selling gala. Now, that is your choice. This Mayegun, I don't know why you don't love Tifnumbu. Whether you love Tifnumbu, whether you don't love Tifnumbu, his fate is going to be decided by those who probably love him more than you, those who have benefited from him more than you. And the result of that is for me to come here and say, they don't, hey, one down, officer down. Me, I am here to do that. And if you are one of those who have been kind of brainwashed to the point of being politically correct, I know you. I know what will hurt you. I know what will make you get offended. It is because we will not pretend like you. Do you understand? Not be me go give them ticket. Not be me be delegate. Not be anything. But you see, when they destroy themselves, now here, we go celebrate them. And when we celebrate it, when we are celebrating it, which is going to not really be cool with many, many of you, and you begin to abuse us, attack us, to my friends here, and like this is what they do.
As they see with us, you go they pain them. As they pain them, you go they see with us.
Sefene. So now they have called themselves that, okay, go and find the consensus, which they will never find. No, they are waiting for a possible step down. But Lawan is still there. They say may the power go south. Meanwhile, Lawan is the guy holding the majority delegates from northern Nigeria. And just like Tambua, if Lawal walked to the podium during the APC convention and say, I am stepping down for Tifnumbu, the setup is complete then. Tifnumbu is going to be their candidate. Then, like I said, to some of you, my Peter Obi brothers and sisters, take back Nigeria. Una no even get respect. Omoyele Sowore started take it back. Take it back. Take it back. We heard about that since 2018. Una come. Una come put your gra here and there. The Peter Obi is Peter Obi. You can't change